Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Prince of SoundCloud, SoundClick, my neighbors, and everybody else out there in the world. And the police, man, they did it to us again. They got us again. It caused riots. People are upset. More killings. More dead black men. More unarmed shootings. More demonizing the victims. More paid leave. More Fox News making it seem like it's okay to just shoot black people. Probably gonna be more Tommy Loren coming out of nowhere and saying stupid stuff about the guy who had his hands up. You know, they're trying to say that old boy, he had his hands up when he's walking to his car. They say he wouldn't obey orders. It's like the man is walking to his vehicle with his hands up. He didn't do nothing wrong. He's the one who called the cops because his vehicle was stuck. And other people call the police like, yo, there's a car in the middle of the road. That's what you do. You call the police. They come and they find out what's going on. My car broke down. Okay, well, you know, get AAA out here. Boom, that should have been it. Have somebody come out, tow the man's car. But he got surrounded by cops. And he put his hands up. Just like the guy in Florida who got shot, laying on the ground with his hands up. And they say they were trying to help old boy, even though they shot him when he's laying on the ground. Not a threat. This guy's walking away, not a threat. And they blew him away. Tasered him first and shot him and said that he was reaching into the car window when it was clear that the car window was up. His blood is all over the car window. So that's a lie. You guys know why I make videos about this? It's not for views, because I might get 10, 20 people to look at it. It's simply because those guys who are getting shot and killed are me. I'm the same dude. If you look at the track record, it's always guys my age, my size. You know what I'm saying? It's me. I look like those guys. I do. Eric Garner, middle-aged black man. And it doesn't have to be a middle-aged black man. It's just that I'm a black man. And they're knocking us off. And they want to keep having a conversation. And they just killed another dude and said he was armed when he wasn't. Even if he was armed, it's not a crime to be armed. Hell, y'all making us want to be more armed. Black people aren't allowed to have guns. Yes, I have a gun. Boom, boom. Look at the guy in Louisiana. They shot him because he had a weapon. Do you have a weapon? I have a weapon. Let me see your wallet. Boom, he's dead. Shot him in front of his woman and his girl. And he wasn't even a driver. Shot Alton. Said he had a gun. He was no threat. He said absolutely nothing. They shot him twice in the chest. With 2 different guns. 2 different police blew him away. You notice they want us to go to war. It's always the Moors and the Christians, the Moors and the Europeans. They always want us to go to war because we've been at war. We've been, you know, the holy wars have been going on between the Moors and the Christians. Christians being European people, even though Christians are black now. but we're talking about the Christians in the Catholic Church that poured out of uh, Rome, and the Roman Church that started all the Crusades and fighting with Saladin and went into what we now call the Middle East, and then into Jerusalem to take over the holy city, take it from the Jews, who were originally dark-skinned black people, who are now so-called African American people. Not the African people, the African American people. And they're still killing us. It's the same war. It's the same war. It's the same Roman Empire, which we live in now, killing the same Jews, which is what I am. I'm not Jewish. That's the Russians. My descendants were Jews that came out of Jerusalem. That was taken over back in 70 AD. That is occupied heavily now by Middle Eastern and white people. And neither one of those races belong in Jerusalem. They are Jewish. And they're fighting over land that doesn't belong to them. That land belongs to the so-called African American people, who are the real Jews, who were bring over here on ships, according to the Bible, who were in captivity by the Egyptians, who were also dark-skinned people, but they were Africans, and they were sold. The Jews were sold into slavery by Africans during the transatlantic slave trade. But it just shows you that during all that time, that war, that holy war between King Richard the Lionheart and Saladin, is still going on. Well, I guess not Saladin, because he was a Muslim. He believed in Muhammad. He did not believe that Jesus Christ was Lord, Jesus the Christ. Nonetheless, the war, the holy war, it is still going on. And black people, African American people, not the Africans, the African American people, we're going to have to find a way to fight back. I think the conversation has changed. I think the conversation for peace is no longer possible. And I'd love to have peace. But I think the Roman Empire has struck, and they have made a very poignant statement that there will be no peace between us. They don't want peace. There's money in blood. There's money in war. There's money in dead children. There's money in mothers crying. There's money in men being slaughtered. There's just no money in peace. And they will do what they can to disrupt peace. And being that we are not heavily weaponized, we have never been weaponized like the Roman Empire. Never. Never like them. Although we've had weapons. Most of our fighting skills has just come from our brute strength, our speed, and our belief in the God that we love. And our numbers. Well, our numbers have spread. Our seed has gone into every race. We now outnumber them in an alarming amount. We still don't have the weapons they do, so they can wipe us out in mass numbers, but our numbers, our seed will survive. When the war hits, when the bombs drop, and they will, our seed will still be here, and we will spread again in mass numbers. As long as this earth will have us, the Jews will be here. We will survive. This we know. There's no doubt in our minds. War is an ugly thing. Ugly. But I keep telling you people that we are at war. It may not be at your front door right now, but the thing about it is you don't know when it'll be here. You don't know when it's your turn. You don't know when the blood is going to be spilt right in front of you, right in front of your children. Probably take your children, because they're shooting children now. They just shot a 13-year-old here where I live, in the city I live. Killed him. He had a BB gun. There's no more stop or I'll shoot. There's no more protocol to police. It's just blood. And then they get paid. Headshots. And they're proud of it. Shooting our women. Shot her and her child on purpose, and he was 4 years old. We're at war. And for those of you who don't think we're at war, you notice they're not killing Asians. They're not killing people from India. They're not killing those people. They're killing black people. They're killing the Jews. It is what it is. And you may think I'm crazy, but you can look through your history. For those of you who even bother to look through history, a lot of you will look at this and say, oh, it's nonsense. Okay, fine. But if you look at recent history, even as early as yesterday, you'll see that the same thing is happening over and over and over. And then you look at the people who they're killing. They look like me. That's not an accident. We are at war.